Hey, happy day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, also known as Pajama Grandma, in my curlers. I know, embarrassing, right? Not really, not so much. Maybe in the olden days I'd be embarrassed when I was younger, and I would hide my hair in these fancy scarves and things if I had to wear curlers somewhere like down to my business to get ready for a demo or something. But now, you know what? I'm just like, it doesn't really matter, right? Sometimes we have to do what we have to do to get what we need to get done. Which leads me to today's topic, elbow grease. How do you use elbow grease to supersize and grow your business? Do you have to use elbow grease to supersize and grow your business? Well, I'm going to say you don't have to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to supersize and grow your business, but I'm going to highly recommend it. And here's why. Elbow grease means to apply effort. And was actually, it came about in Britain in the early 1600s, and it was used jokingly as a joke when people would put forth a bunch of effort where they were using their arms and their hands to do some hard work, and they'd work up a sweat because they were putting forth effort, elbow grease, putting their arms into the work, the job. So rubbing or buffing or scraping, I don't know if they buffed back then, but scraping or doing any kind of hard repetitive work with your hands where you'd work up a sweat, that became, oh, they're really putting elbow grease into it. And to me, it just means hard work, putting some effort into something, putting forth the energy and the work necessary to accomplish a task or to get something done, right? And usually to get something done, like right before the deadline, it's like, all right, I got to really apply pressure at the end. Now, I'm going to recommend that instead of applying pressure at the end and waiting till the last minute and getting things done and then having to really put forth a lot of effort, that you discipline yourself to add that pressure at the beginning. Create the systems and the processes, the procedures, and the way of doing things so that you can put forth a steady effort and not have to apply so much elbow grease at the end to finish a project, so that you've just got everything set up so that you can smoothly work through your projects every time. Now, I think elbow grease personally is important for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think as a leader and as the head of your organization, your company, your business, or department or whatever, your family, your any type thing that you happen to be a leader or a role model for, is that you need to be a role model. You need to set the example for the other people in your organization by being willing to pitch in and do hard work as well. Nobody likes a boss who just tells them to do things and work hard all the time and then leaves early or ditches out because y'all are working on the project and they don't really have anything to do. They're not even there to support or help you. They're just, here's the project, they delegate it to you, and then off they go. Not very many people have a whole lot of respect for that. I worked with a lot of small businesses. I work with a lot of small businesses. And one of the biggest problems that I have seen is the whole absentee owner mentality and the absentee owner philosophy. We're all sold on this dream of, residual income, and we just build it and then it just runs by itself. And in a lot of businesses and industries, you can do that. But there are several industries and businesses that you absolutely positively should not do that unless you have a solid person in place to run the business for you. Some businesses need hands-on overseeing for a lot of reasons. Some businesses are prone to quality challenges and quality issues. Some businesses are prone to theft, not only customer theft, but employee theft as well. So some of those need more attendance and more hard work and more elbow grease and more attention than other businesses do. And you know if you're in one of those businesses or not and what's required. And it doesn't mean you personally have to do it, but it means somebody in authority and responsibility who's honest with high integrity and trust is in that position that can oversee that type of business. So, be the role model, set the example of work ethic, and I guess set the example of the work ethic that you want to see in your organization. If you want a laissez-faire, lackadaisical organization, that's the culture that you'll create. But if you want a hard-working, we all pull together to achieve common goals, and sometimes we have to work really hard, sometimes we don't. I think the best organizations I've worked for are the ones where we worked really hard together and then we played really hard together as well. Those are the most, for me, rewarding and fun. But again, each of us are different, so you have to decide what's right for your organization. But you have to set the actual example and be the role model for people that work in your organization, or for the world at large and for the community at large. We get what we expect from other people, but we also get what we expect from ourselves. The other thing I believe personally is hard work feels good. It feels good to work up a sweat. It feels good to put forth effort and achieve something. That sense of accomplishment, there's nothing like that sense of accomplishment when you've worked for something. It doesn't have to just be physical hard work. Sometimes it's just mental hard work. Sometimes it's solving a problem or overcoming an obstacle and working hard toward that. So elbow grease doesn't have to be just physical working with your hands. It can be mental elbow grease, right? I like to use elbow grease or smart thinking or planning to set things up and plan things so that I don't have to work so hard all the time. I also like to set things up and apply elbow grease in the beginning of a business or a project or an initiative so that if we want to do that again, we set it up so that the next time we do it, it's easier and easier and easier. And we get this cycle of continuous improvement moving us toward our goals all the time. So what do you think about elbow grease? Do you think elbow grease is a bunch of nonsense? Do you think elbow grease and hard work is good? Weigh in the comments below, because this curler pajama grandma would love to know. Go out, make it an awesome day. Of course, I will be with you tomorrow. Bye. Take care.